Welcome to Today in AZ on this Sunday morning. I'm Allison Rodriguez.
And I'm Emma Jade. The FBI needs your help. Two separate cases, two murdered young Indigenous girls. Both went missing in our state. Now their deaths, both of them, still a mystery, and their killers on the run. How you can help investigators get one step closer to justice.
It's that time of year when we do start thinking about taxes, and we've got a big scam warning for you this morning. Our 12 News Money Insider will join us in studio with the 3 things you need to look out for.
It's cookie time. The Girl Scouts dishing out some of your favorite cookies, plus a new sweet treat. They're going to join us in studio with what you need to know to grab a few boxes of your own.
But first, here's a look at your weather impact forecast for this Sunday.
Good morning. I'm 12 News meteorologist Chris Dunn with your weather impact forecast. It's been quite a weekend. Interesting weather-wise, a lot of the haves and the have-nots. A little bit of rain here and there and quite a bit of snow in the high country. But for this Sunday, cooler weather settling in along with the sunshine. Highs in the 60s for the valley and turning quite chilly at night. So prepare for a cold night in the desert and really cold across northern Arizona. 14 Window Rock, only 9 in the Grand Canyon. This is for Monday morning. 14 Flagstaff. We have 46 in Phoenix, but many areas will drop down close to 40 or possibly into the upper 30s by first thing on Monday morning. Before we get there, we have a glorious Sunday with sunshine abounding as things are clearing out quickly. 49 in Payson. Some fresh snow on the hills around Flagstaff, 40 degrees. Also some snow falling in the hills around Prescott. Prescott, you'll hit 51. Same for Sedona, 65 in Quartzsite, and Yuma at 70 degrees. Here is the Valley forecast. The timeline for this Sunday in the Valley, mid-60s today, 4 p.m., 65 degrees. The 3-day forecast takes us back to the 70s next week, but will it last? I'll have the rest of the forecast coming up.
And we need to keep you updated on the search for the killer of 8-year-old Malika Molly Boone.
Okay, so a new $25,000 reward being offered for information that leads to the arrest and conviction of the person who is responsible for this little girl's murder.
It's just a horrifying story, and to have no answers. Troy Lynch, he is live at the FBI Phoenix field office with more on the case. And Troy, with what we know now and what the FBI is asking from the public.
Yeah, the FBI is still in search for the killer of Malika. He or she is still out there as of right now, and now they're asking for the public's help to find any sort of information that could lead up to the killer, and obviously that $25,000 reward. So if you do know anything related to this case, you're asked to call the tip line of the FBI, but then also you could submit a tip at tips.fbi.gov. But here are a few different photos of Malika Molly Boone. So just 8 years old when she was killed, and Boone left a family member's home around 4:15 p.m. on January 15th so she could go home. Then her body was found at 8:30 the next morning in a field near her coal mine neighborhood on the Navajo Nation. Now her family reported her missing the day before, and Navajo police have been investigating in that area of coal mine for the last week. Now this is just the second young Native American girl in the last year who was found dead in Arizona, and her killer has not been caught. The FBI is still looking for the person who brutally killed 14-year-old Emily Pike, a member of the San Carlos Apache tribe. Monday marks her 1 year since she has disappeared from her Mesa group home, and her body later discovered dismembered along the US 60 near Globe. Now there's a $150,000 reward being offered for information in her case. So Sunday night there is going to be a candlelight vigil and walk that is going to honor Emily, and that's going to start at Mesa Drive and McKellips Road. So if you have any information or tips on either of these unrelated cases, you are asked to contact the FBI. But we're live here in Phoenix. Troy Lynch, 12 News, Today in AZ.
Yeah, Troy, I mean, this is really about, getting some answers for these families, because the fact that these killers are still out there is just horrifying. I mean, you want some justice for these 2 victims. Thank you, Troy.
We are getting our first look at a National Transportation Safety Board report. They're investigating a helicopter crash that killed 4 people earlier this month. It happened in Pinal County near the Telegraph Canyon outside of Superior. Our David Chazanov joins us live in Phoenix after reading that report there about this crash. David, I mean, when it happened, a lot of people were just stunned by it and figuring out how in the world did this happen. So is this giving us any more insight into what really did happen?
Yeah, Justin, good morning. Just a heartbreaking situation here. We know the NTSB is only a couple of weeks into their investigation, but they're already sharing plenty of information. They're saying the helicopter hit what's called a slack line. That's a type of webbing that was stretched across Telegraph Canyon.
Any wire is very, very difficult to pick up when you're flying. It blends in with the terrain, and even if there's flags or tags on the wire, it still is very difficult to pick up.
That's Professor Cary Grant, who you just heard from there. The NTSB report reveals the slackline collision ripped off a piece from the chopper before falling to the ground, killing the pilot and his 3 nieces. Officials say the slackline was lowered for storms just days before the incident, but it was raised the morning of the crash since the weather improved. Records show the helicopter had a wire strike protection system, but it missed the slackline entirely. The NTSB says another helicopter flew the same path just an hour later, missing the wire by only 10 feet. Professor Grant says flying in low-level environments can be challenging for pilots.
We don't know what he did, but he was probably very familiar with the route and didn't expect changes like the slack line to be there in the route.
Keep in mind the investigation is still far from over. It could take at least a year for that final report to come out. In Phoenix, David Chasanoff, 12 News, today in AZ.
So tax season, it is just around the corner, and scammers, they are already ready for you. This morning, the Better Business Bureau's Joe Ducey joins us live here in the studio to tell us about some things that we need to avoid, mainly these scams that are popping up. I mean, tax season is here, and these little fraudsters, they're ready for us.
They're ready, yeah. I'm always the bearer of good news, aren't I, in the morning? Wake up, it's a scam. Yeah, but yeah, it's tax time. These are always scams during tax time. I always say where there's money, there are scams, and there's a lot of money with income taxes. And this year, it's every year, but this year it's a little bit different because there's been talk about these various government handouts, right? All right, the $2,000 tariff refund check has been talked about. Maybe money coming back from what Doge possibly saved. Inflation refund checks. So scammers are using those things. None of those are true. None of those have happened yet. Congress hasn't, made any action on any of this stuff. So they're using those to try to get to people, say, hey, there's government handout, we need your bank account information. We can deposit that check. We're calling from the IRS or whatever. So that's one of the scams going on. Other scams involve basically saying that you owe a certain amount of money. That there's some back taxes, and they start threatening you with prison or with whatever it is. And they try to get you that way, by high pressure. The key is, there aren't any government refunds, right, that we were talking about. Also, the IRS doesn't call you. When they first contact you, it's by letter. They're old school. They do it by mail. So they don't do it by text, by email. If you get a call or email from the IRS and you didn't initiate it, it's a scam.
So you're talking about these people call. What is the main source that these people are? Is it calling? Is it emailing? Is it just any way that they can get in touch with you?
It's any of them. If you've got a landline, in many cases, that's when they call you. So landline, I don't have a landline anymore because it was just a scam magnet. Right. So that's when they go for you there. But they're texting and they're emailing and they're saying, hey, you maybe do a government refund. We're a tax preparer. We're from the IRS. Here's what you need to know, and here's the information you need to give me in order for me to give you this money. So that's a big deal.
It sounds like, that one with the government and, you're getting these checks or, these refund checks or,
They sound great.
They do sound great.
Right.
And they've been in the news.
Exactly.
So you're just like, oh my, you know what? Oh, it went through.
Yeah.
I'm getting it.
Yeah.
It's very convincing.
It is. And there was even something about some old stimulus money from COVID, but that took place in 2025. But some scammers are saying, hey, there's still some, if you didn't take that money from your stimulus back in 2021 or 20, you're due it now. So anything they can use to sound legitimate. Another concern that we have is about fake tax preparers. It's always a problem. People who are not, they're either fake or they're just not good, that they just don't know what they're doing. And then they try to get your information. They can even file a tax return on your behalf and then get your money. But there is something called a personal, it's a personal preparer tax identification number, a PTIN, all right? Preparers have to have that with the IRS. So if you go to irs.gov before you hire anybody, and of course go to bbb.org as well, but go for a tax preparer. But you go there and you try to make sure that they have this preparer tax identification number or PTIN. so that you know that they're legitimate and they've registered with the IRS and they're going to do a good job for you.
I was going to say, how do you even know who to go to? I mean, because your taxes can be complicated.
Yeah.
Everybody has signs out on the road now, you know, that come in here and will prepare your taxes. So if you look at that, that is a legitimate tax person that you're taking it to?
It is. It is. They have registered with the IRS, that they have a certain number, and they had to go certain qualifications in order to do that. I'd also go to bbb.org, and I'd also do, and I'd look for reviews for tax preparers. And I would go online and just find for tax preparers in your area, you know. Or if you find a name, though, make sure that you check it out before you actually, you know, go with them. But yeah, that's probably the best way to avoid it. The other thing I wanted, we don't have a whole lot of time, but they're free tax preparers. I was working on a video we were doing about free tax prep sites. So there's another way. If you make less than, I think it's $89,000 adjusted gross income, and it depends on various states and ages. But if you go to the IRS.gov site, there are 8 preparers that they work with where you can file your taxes for free. And those are legitimate places, and it, you know, won't cost you anything. And many of them do various schedules. I mean, it can be extra income money, it can be those kinds of things. TurboTax, not so much. They have a free place to be able to do that, but they don't. It has to be very simple, not complicated.
So what? Just really quick here. So what if I do fall for one of these scams? That what is it? Just lost money?
Your money's gone, man.
Is it, I mean, I know a lot of times it is. It's just like, well, that was it.
What I would do if you have a problem or you think that you're in the middle of something, I contact the Attorney General's office here because they do a really good job of going after people. I'd also go to ftc.gov and I'd go to irs.gov and I'd complain to them and because they're looking for information about tax preparers. And I would say, you know, what's going on. You know, another place to go before you go actually look for a preparer, or that you feel like you know, you're maybe getting scammed, go to Scam Tracker. BB Scam Tracker talks about those scams, what's going on in your area, and you may say, oh man, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah. You know, that person said this to me, it's got to be a scam. The biggest thing to do is just not be pressured. Take a step back, think about it before you act. You know, most scams, you're not going to fall for them if you take that step back.
Joe Ducey, always so good. You always have such good information for us.
Great, man.
All right.
Good seeing you.
Hi there once again. I'm meteorologist Chris Dunn with your 12 News weather impact forecast. Our latest storm system, or series of storm systems, have now cleared out, and we're in the chilly 40s this morning, only warming up to the mid-60s later on this afternoon. 1 p.m. we'll hit 62. Sunrise is at 7:29 and the sun goes down around 5:30 or so. Here's the kind of the complex weather setup. This low that's right down here at the bottom, this tracked a lot farther south than our original indications were a couple of days ago. So a lot of that active weather associated with it also ended up a lot farther to the south, and that really limited rainfall amounts across the valley. Our secondary system dropping down out of Utah, that's really responsible for kicking off the snow for the high country and some late showers on Saturday. Everything clears out on this Sunday, and our Futurecast has a kind of a series of these high pressure ridges that will traverse the area from time to time. Scattered high clouds for your Monday, and then we clear out Wednesday and Thursday, mainly sunny. We can see this next ridge starting to build in along the west coast, and that will give us a dry trend and a warming trend as well. And it looks like that warming trend is going to extend into February. This is February 1st through the 7th. Our long-range outlook is for a probability of below average precipitation. As far as temperatures, yeah, you guessed it. There's a better probability of above average temperatures all across the state of Arizona and extending out to the west coast into California. All the cold weather, that stays back east and it stays far, far away from us. Here are the forecast numbers for this Sunday. 39 in Show Low. Looking pretty low with this, the new snow around. 56 in Safford and 40 degrees in Flagstaff. Sedona, you're at 51 on this Sunday. And the UV forecast, you know, I know we normally talk about this in the summertime because that's when you're poolside or when you have a lot more skin exposed. It's a 4 on our scale, which is moderate. So you will get sunburn in this type of environment. It's just going to take a little bit longer. Just be aware of that. 40 in Flagstaff today, 40 on Monday, and then we'll kick it up to the mid-40s Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Not looking at any snow. You ended up with just a little bit of snow out of this last system in Flagstaff. The Valley 7-day forecast, take a look. 66 on Sunday, 70 tomorrow, and then we'll make it up to the mid-70s. In fact, a string of 75s Wednesday, Thursday, and for Friday, 75 degrees on Friday, a low of 50. The next couple of mornings, though, will be quite chilly. 43, your forecast low for Monday morning. Some of the outlying areas will likely dip into the 30s. Brr, bundle up.
Maybe you saw recently that the food pyramid has pretty much flipped with the recommendations on what we should eat, how much of it we should eat, changed. So this morning, we're trying to break it all down for you. What does this mean for you? What does this mean for your diet? We have Dr. Shaw here from Honor Health, and I think it's so interesting. We saw all the headlines, but how do we really break down what changed? So what are some of your big takeaways?
Yeah. So good morning, Emma. I think the biggest challenge for me and my patients is just understanding how it applies to you.
Yes.
So the big changes that I want to highlight today is that there's a big push for protein. So 2025 was a year of protein.
Yes.
The recommendations used to be 0.8 grams per kilogram per day. And now that's been bumped up to 1.2 to 1.6. So what does that mean?
Why? Yeah.
Yeah, so, physicians, dietitians, we've been recommending high protein intake for a long time, and now it's kind of in the guidelines.
Catching up.
When you want to build muscle and lose fat, focusing more of your diet on protein is where that's at. So 150-pound lady, you want to have about 85 grams of protein a day. So that's some chicken breast, that's some edamame, that's some hummus, that's some boiled eggs, that's picking high-value protein
And should
as the
I
main.
lean more into foods or the protein bars, the protein drinks? What
So
should
that's
I really
the
be focusing on?
second big change in this
Okay.
new food pyramid. They moved away from those ultra-processed foods.
Okay.
And it's really focusing on getting your nutrition from whole food. Hard when you're on the go,
So hard.
but that's why I wanted to highlight some of my adult bento box choices here. So, I've kind of tried to explain it as this 3-2-1 formula.
Okay.
So try for every meal as best as you can. 3 whole fruits and veggies. Color is better. So we have cucumbers and tomatoes and carrots. 2 sources of protein. So we have some cheese, some hummus with the chickpeas. That's going to give you some protein. And then we have 1 source of fat and 1 source of carb. So again, you get some fat from the cheese.
Yeah.
You get some carbs from the pita chips. And now you have a whole balanced meal.
It's fantastic.
And the other big difference with the new guideline is the push for more dairy. Now, as a gastroenterologist, that's the biggest food intolerance that I see walk into my door.
I've developed that after having babies.
So would I say go get a jug of milk and keep it and get most of your nutrition from that? No. For children, that's the new guideline. For children, we're looking for whole fat milk.
Okay.
And minimizing sugar until age 10.
Oh gosh, I've got to change some things in my house, but go on.
But for dairy, using dairy in different sources. So cottage cheese, Greek yogurt, really great ways to get protein and dairy intake. So this is actually my breakfast today. It's my overnight oats. And again, we have 3 different fruits. So we have whichever berries you like.
Yeah.
Raspberries have more fiber. Blueberries give you this good phytonutrients. Strawberries are always a fan favorite at home, and they disappear very quickly. We have our protein with our Greek yogurt. I've sprinkled a little bit of chia seed in there.
Yeah.
Chia, flax, those are going to give you some more added protein.
Okay.
And then we have our granola or our oatmeal, which gives us our carb.
See, all of this looks very doable. Because sometimes when you see the big graphic and then you hear all the big words, you think, I can't even. But to have it really broken down here, and this is also something that you make available on your Instagram page.
I
because
do.
What is your Instagram
Yeah,
page?
it's
Because I feel like
GastroHealth
it's been so
MD.
helpful. Okay,
Yes.
GastroHealth MD.
Yes, and I share recipes, break myths, and really talk about what my patients want to know.
Yes.
And I find it's really helpful to engage with people, understand what they want to learn. 2026 is the year of fiber.
Okay.
It's the year of beans. You'll hear me say it over and over. Fiber is going to heal your gut. Fiber is going to keep you full. It's going to lower inflammation. And fiber is not just broccoli.
Okay, so what are my options then?
So we're talking about beans.
Okay.
We're talking about whole grain bread. Bread is not your enemy. Carbs are
I've
not
been
your enemy.
scared of bread for like 4 years.
So sourdough is great for the gut.
Okay.
Whole grain bread is going to give you the nutrients that you need, and that is really well documented in this new food pyramid.
Interesting.
We're talking about high fiber fruits like raspberries, picking raspberries over grapes. It's a much easier snack.
Okay.
Things like edamame, things like walnuts, those have a lot of good fiber, and sprinkling it throughout the day is
Yes.
going to give you the added benefit. So
So fantastic.
fiber, protein, whole foods. That's really what we're looking for.
This, I feel like, has helped me so much, just so, because you look at all the stuff and you hear so much noise on social media. This has broken it down really easy for me. Give me your social media one more time so everyone can follow.
Gastro Health MD on Instagram and TikTok.
Okay.
Follow me and let me know what you want to hear more about.
Keeping you in the loop with things happening in the West Valley, the new Vallarta supermarket in Glendale is marking its 5th day open. This is the grocery chain's first ever store outside of California.
So today in AZ, anchor Allison Rodriguez, our good old friend there, she takes us inside and shows us how people who don't even live in our area are making the trip to shop here.
Yeah, guys, I'm out here at Vallarta Supermarket. Just opened up not too long ago. It's still got that fresh smell here, and it has been busy. The parking lot is packed, and people are excited that Vallarta Supermarkets has entered Arizona. This is the very first store. You see a spot for the kids, fresh bread, all of the produce over here. They also have a whole hot food section on the other side of the store, and it's just row after row of new products here, and at competitive prices as well. At a time where everyone's budget is being pinched, this is so important for the community. This spot has also brought in about 200 jobs here into the market right now, and it's a big deal. They're also going to be opening about 15 more stores in Arizona, but they wanted that first spot to be in Arizona. So I'm trying to track, customers down here who are showing up for the first time. Oh, she's shy. She doesn't want to talk, but I tell you, big deal. Everyone is excited. I mentioned the parking lots have been full out there. And is this your first time at the supermarket, this one?
Yes.
And what do you think?
I like it.
Had you heard of it before?
No, I saw it on TikTok. Yeah.
Okay, and how was the parking?
Terrible.
It's busy.
Yeah, it's busy.
But what do you think about having now this supermarket in this neighborhood? Do you live around here? Is this a place that you purposely came to, or do you always shop around here?
No, I live over there in Peoria, so we saw it on TikTok. We wanted to come check it out, so we came over here.
Does it live up to the hype for you?
Yes.
Will you be back?
Yeah, I'll be back.
Well, there you go. They're going to be back. Customers are hoping are going to keep coming back to this supermarket. Again, it is now open here in Glendale near 59th Avenue and Camelback, and 15 more are going to be coming to Arizona soon. Reporting in Glendale, Allison Rodriguez, 12 News.
The 2026 Girl Scout season, cookie season, it is officially here, and there's even a brand new cookie that we got to tell you about, Rocky Road inspired. So joining us in the studio this morning, we have Zuri. We also have Isabella and Nadia here, the Girl Scout extraordinaires, so good at selling stuff. Okay, so first off, it is Girl Scout cookie season.
It is.
I came over here, I was like, what's this? I was like, did we get a new pillow? It's a Girl Scout cookie. It's a prop for us. But tell us, first off, this is such a good opportunity for the Girl Scouts to get out there. How long does the season run, and tell us about the new cookie?
Well, the season is here. We run for about 6 weeks, so it ends on March 1st. And we do have a new cookie. Last year we didn't, so we're really excited to introduce Explore More's. It's our Rocky Road inspired cookie. It's actually soft, so you get a really good outside chocolate cookie with an almond creme with some marshmallow flavor inside.
So ladies, how has it been out there selling? How's it going?
Pretty good.
Go on.
I've sold about 40 cookies in just one booth.
And just one booth. How about you?
So far it's been going pretty good as well. I mainly see like other Girl Scouts selling, so I'll support any Girl Scout that I see. If I am walking into a store and see somebody selling, I'll go up and support their booth.
You support them too?
Yeah.
So what is your best selling point? When you see somebody, you said that you're like Outside Fries. What is your good go-to line that really secures that sale?
Hi, my name is Isabella. Would you like to buy some Girl Scout cookies?
It's that smile, right? That's what gets them. So what are you seeing when you like encounter them? What's like their go-to cookie? What do you see?
It is mainly the most popular Thin Mints. Sometimes we get a few Samoas, even some trefoils and lemon ups are pretty popular, and the new cookie.
And the new cookie. What do you think about the new cookie?
I love it. I only tried it once, but it was so good, and I think it's different, which I think is really cool because usually all the cookies that we have, they're different flavors. We have like 2 peanut butter ones, but this new one it's unique, and I think that's really cool.
So tell us, I mean, this is not just about cookies as well. I mean, this is a great opportunity for these girls to really learn a lot.
Absolutely. They are basically running a small business for 6 weeks in collaboration with their troops or on their own and supported by their families. So they learn business ethics, about inventory, money management, communication. So those skills over the years as they stay in Girl Scouts really translates into their careers.
And I'd imagine confidence as well, because it takes a lot of confidence to stop someone, out there and just basically a cold call sell, you know?
Yeah, and I think as they get older too, they learn about sales in a different way, because when you're little, you only have to say like, hi, you want Girl Scout cookies? Because the cookies are iconic, right?
Right.
But as you get older, you really learn about a sales pitch and how to format it and really talk about the effects and the impact of the cookie sales.
Is there a little bit of competition out there trying to see who sells the most?
For me, I don't have really any competition, but I do know some girls who have like goals of 2,000.
2,000?
Yeah.
Wow, what about for you?
Same right here. You know, it's not really competitive because at the end of the day, we're all Girl Scouts out there selling cookies, so it brings people together. However, there was some times where I would have a booth set up in a storefront, and then right across the street there would be another booth, but it wouldn't be like competitive or anything. We would just be like, oh hey, what's up?
Yeah.
How are you doing?
So it says right here on the side of this, I want to point this out. It says that the proceeds right here, they stay local as well.
100% of the proceeds stay local. And they go back to our girls and goals they want to achieve, but also to support Girl Scouting in Arizona overall.
Yeah, it says right here, STEM, outdoors, life skills, and then entrepreneurship as
Those
well.
are our pillars.
So if somebody is like, you know what, I gotta have the new one, I gotta have the Thin Mints or whatever your favorite one is, give us the details. How long we got? Because there's only a certain amount of time.
I know, it's the best time of the year, right? The season ends March 1st, so you can visit girlscoutsaz.org/cookie finder. You can type in your zip code and you'll find a booth near you.
How many Girl Scouts do we have out there? Do you know?
Oh, we have a lot, but we have about 12,000 participating in the program this year.
Holy cow. That's a lot of Girl Scouts out there.
It is a lot of Girl Scouts, so go out and support.
That's a lot of opportunity for you to get your Girl Scout cookies. Okay, so ladies, what's your favorite?
Oh, I love, actually, the Underdog, the Toffee-tastic, are gluten-free. It's a shortbread with toffee in it.
Okay. What about for you?
My favorite's the Lemon Up because it tastes like lemonade.
That's a good selling point. And what's your favorite?
Mine is also Toffee-tastic. I really like the texture of it, and as well as the flavor. It's just, I can't even describe it. It's so good.
You know what I'm surprised you didn't say? Thin Mints.
Oh.
I thought you guys were gonna say Thin Mints. I could eat a whole sleeve of Thin Mints in just one sitting. Actually, a whole box.
Oh, do you put them in the freezer?
I have.
Yeah,
That's
the way to
good
go.
too. Okay, that's good. Well, thank you, ladies. We appreciate
Thank
it. So
you.
there you go. Now's the time to get those Girl Scout cookies.
Good morning once again. I'm meteorologist Chris Dunn with the final look at your weather impact forecast for this Sunday. Waking up to 40s. We'll end up in the mid-60s this afternoon, 4 p.m. and sunny, sunny, sunny. A different weather setup is playing out for this Sunday. Mid-60s across the valley. Apache Junction 63. Avondale 68. Here's your Valley 7-day forecast. 66 on average today. Back to the 70s on Monday. Mid-70s Wednesday through the upcoming weekend.
Thank you for joining us this Sunday morning. And remember to start your week and every morning with Today in AZ, starting at 4:26.
And now streaming until 9 a.m. on 12+. Your mornings don't stop.
And now neither do we. Welcome to Today in AZ. 12 News Today in AZ keeps going.
Expanding to 9 a.m. on the 12+ streaming app.
More live weather.
More live traffic updates.
More breaking news. Live from 4:26 a.m. to 9.
12 News Today in AZ, now streaming until 9 a.m. on 12+.
Download on your TV and watch for free.